Hello, Red and Gold Nation, straight from the freezing stands of Arrowhead where faith is warmer than any fireplace and we've seen miracles happen more times than reruns on late-night TV, I bring you some straight talk, the kind that stirs the heart of every Kansas City Chiefs fan. The 2025 NFL season is approaching, and with it, a shadow looms over our kingdom, the painful memory of the crushing defeat in Super Bowl LIX. Yes, my friends, that game made us question if we were watching our team or a lost episode of The Twilight Zone. Why was that loss so impactful? Because it wasn't just a loss, it was one of the worst, if not the worst, performances of the glorious Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes era. And now, the big question echoing from the far reaches of Missouri to every corner of the planet where a red and gold heart beats is, will the Kansas City Chiefs rise again like the Phoenix we know? Or does the 2025 season hold a painful disappointment in store for us? This, my dear friends, is the storyline that Pro Football Network highlights as crucial and that we, the Red Pingdom, will follow with bated breath. Remember Super Bowl LIX? Cheering for the Chiefs is like waiting for your final exam results after pulling 3 all-nighters fueled by coffee and hope. We always believe in the best, but the butterflies are inevitable. And on that fateful Sunday, the result was a punch to the gut. The team as a whole just didn't click. It wasn't a close loss, the kind you lament over a detail, over a controversial ref call, which, let's be honest, are never in short supply when it comes to the Chiefs. It was a blowout, a steamrolling, something we simply weren't accustomed to seeing under Reid's baton and with Mahomes' magic. And why does this hurt so much? Because we saw a team that seemed unbeatable be dominated in a way that defied our understanding. That loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, though in a previous Super Bowl, had already left a bitter taste. But this last one was different. It was a reality check. Now, on the verge of the 2025 season, the Kansas City Chiefs players will carry that bad taste in their mouths throughout the entire journey. And, as ironic as it may sound, this could be powerful fuel. No one who wore that red and gold uniform in Super Bowl LIX and is returning for the next season wants to feel that humiliation again. That feeling of helplessness, of seeing the dream slip through their fingers, is a motivator like few others. The team, and we expect, a substantial improvement, a response worthy of the greatness this franchise represents, to continue its dynasty and silence the critics who are already starting to whisper about the end of an era. Chiefs news today needs to reflect this hunger for redemption. But the NFL is a brutal marathon, not a 100-meter dash. The question lingering in the air is whether the Kansas City Chiefs can channel this pain into performance, or if the weight of expectation and the wear and tear of previous seasons will take their toll. What many analysts and, let's be honest, even some more casual fans don't realize is the physical and mental tribute that a journey to the Super Bowl demands from a team. And in the case of our glorious Chiefs, we're talking about 3 consecutive Super Bowl appearances. 3! That's a feat for the few, but the toll is real. It will be crucial to observe how the team presents itself physically at the start of the 2025 season. Will there be signs of fatigue, any unexpected sluggishness, or will we see the same vibrant energy we've grown accustomed to admiring? Another ghost that haunts teams that reach the top and suffer a fall is the dreaded Super Bowl hangover. That state of lethargy, of difficulty in rediscovering focus and intensity after a loss in the big game. But, and here comes our unwavering faith as fans who've seen Matt Castle at quarterback and survived to tell the tale, it's hard to definitively say if the Chiefs will succumb to this. Why? Because this team, under the command of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, has shown almost superhuman resilience. Reaching 3 consecutive finals is no accident. It's the fruit of a culture, meticulous preparation, and an ability to consistently play at the highest level. The coaching staff we have is masterful at preparing the team for the long haul, and we expect another miracle from Mahomes and Big Red. Pro Football Network, in its perspective analysis, highlights precisely this point as the biggest narrative to watch for the Kansas City Chiefs next season: how they will recover psychologically and tactically from the Super Bowl LIX defeat. There's no doubt that as long as Patrick Mahomes is under center and Andy Reid is on the sidelines with his playbook that resembles a magic scroll, the Kansas City Chiefs will always be a contender, a favorite in the betting odds to reach the Super Bowl. But how the team handles adversity this time will be the great test. And if the mind and spirit are unknowns, one area that already raises eyebrows and generates heated debate among us, the Red Nation, is the offensive line. Protecting our treasure, Patrick Mahomes, is top priority, more important than the secret recipe for Kansas City barbecue. And for 2025, the OL has undergone a significant overhaul. Kansas City brought in Jalen Moore, a veteran who can bring experience, and drafted the promising youngster Josh Simmons to compete for the always critical left tackle position, one of the most important spots for keeping Mahomes clean and operating his magic. Meanwhile, an internal move also draws attention. Kingsley Sumataya, a talent who was already being polished, has been promoted to left guard after the surprising trade of Joe Thuney to the Chicago Bears. Why is this change so vital? Because the offensive line is the foundation of any successful offense, and ours cannot falter if we want to see Mahomes raining down touchdowns. The way this revamped and, in some spots, experimental offensive line gels during minicamp and training camps will be absolutely crucial for the Kansas City Chiefs' aspirations in 2025. It's there, in the mud and sweat of practice, that chemistry will be forged, blocks will be synchronized, and trust will be built. If this OL can give Mahomes time to think and open up running lanes for our ground game, which also needs to function, our chances of returning to the top increase exponentially. Otherwise, my friends, we might see our quarterback running for his life more than we'd like, and that's a scenario that chills even the most optimistic of fans. Therefore, Red Kingdom, the 2025 season is shaping up to be a fascinating and suspenseful chapter in the glorious history of the Kansas City Chiefs. Will we have the fury of redemption propelling a team wounded in its pride, or will the wear and tear and roster changes present insurmountable obstacles? One thing is certain, with Patrick Mahomes wearing the red and gold, hope never dies. That pinpoint pass with a busted ankle in Super Bowl L17, the defense holding strong in clutch moments, all of this reminds us of what this team is capable of. We who endure the cold of Arrowhead, who shout until we lose our voices, who believe until the very last second on the clock, know that the never-say-die spirit is in the Chiefs' DNA. Now it's time to wait, to cheer, to root against our rivals, of course, and to believe that once again we will be rewarded with glory. Because being a Chiefs fan is just that, believing in the impossible, even when logic says otherwise, and bring on 2025. This year is ours again, is it? The question that won't go away, but one we answer with hearts full of